Here we go, week 2 of On Top the Cage. NFL never disappoints. There was some fun stuff that happened last week. Big headlines that came out.
Yeah, my Browns kicked some ass. That's the biggest headline.
They 100% did. They had a great week. Not so much for my football team, the Chicago Bears. That's why I'm not wearing Bears gear. I'm wildly disappointed in them, but we'll get to them. I'm wearing my show apparel, if you will. And by the way, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. It's pretty chilly here right now.
Yeah, chilly and rainy today.
Yeah.
Like 64 when I got here.
Yeah, we're barely above 60 right now, which is a little bit shocking for. And by the way, have you seen the lows coming up this week?
Yeah, they're down in the low 50s.
Mid 40s.
Mid 40s?
At best. There's one night that's 45. I refilled my propane tanks. The heater's probably going up in the garage later this week, most likely.
Get out of here.
We'll see.
Halloween's up. The heater's going up.
Yeah.
You guys will get your snow shovel out.
Oh, geez. That's a little for that, hopefully. But, speaking of weather stuff, we had a great day here on Sunday, weather-wise. I mean, it was 75 and sunny.
Oh, my God. Compared to what it was in Cleveland.
That's where I was going.
Oh, my God.
I text Dan, and I have the Cleveland-Cincinnati game on, and it's pouring rain. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? Because, the sun is perfect here.
Yeah, nice.
And we're 45 minutes south of Cleveland.
A couple clouds. Not even 45.
Yeah, not even. It was shocking how bad the weather was, 30, 40 miles away top end.
Oh, yeah, it was crazy. Because even I looked on my phone, I looked on the Weather Channel radar, and there was nothing up there. And I was like, wait, what's going on? Why is it so shitty? That was crazy, though.
It's nuts.
And I've not talked to Mark, who was at the game. By the way, it was his birthday, and we missed that last week. But he had a birthday party with 70,000 people.
He went to the Browns game, right?
70,000 friends, yeah.
Happy birthday, Mark. And we have another birthday shout out, my brother-in-law, Teddy. It's his birthday, actually, today. So happy birthday, nice. Teddy. I hope he's having a great day.
Happy birthday, Teddy.
I got a buddy named Clint, who also, it's his birthday. Hopefully he's watching the show. It's his birthday today as well. They share a birthday. I'm sure he's having fun. He tends to make fun out of nothing. So good for him. I don't know. Speaking of weather-wise, have you started any of your fall stuff with any mums yet or anything like that? No.
I blew leaves.
Too early.
I blew some leaves. That's it.
That's funny. We're going to talk some more about, the intro stuff, the bullshit that Dan and I do. Quite a bit to talk about. But you see the shots on the table, I think. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's a work call I'm not taking right now. My other job, I suppose. But you see the shots on the table, which means Dan and I both had positive weeks. Might as well get in the results. Dan and I both went 9-7. Dan hit his elephant pick with the Atlanta Falcons. They were 3.5-point favorites. They won by 2 touchdowns. And I'm super disappointed in myself. I had a great year last year with our quote-unquote elephant picks. Best bets. I was on the Washington Commanders -7. They won the game by 4, so I'm super disappointed. I'll fix that for you guys this week for sure. But we told you last year when Dan and I had positive weeks, we do shots. And what it is, well, heavy cream makes everything better, so that's what's on top. It's not little beers this time. I'm a big fan of Old Smoky. They make all kinds of different flavored bourbons, if you will. This one is salty caramel. We're trying it with heavy cream. It's going to go. Cheers to a good week. Tasty, right?
You definitely taste the salted caramel.
Caramel, yeah.
Caramel.
Make sure that shit's off your mouth. Nobody wants white stuff on their mouth. At least not as dudes, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Too much Bud Light.
Anyway, that was good. You can make that into a dessert for sure.
Yeah, I don't know about the heavy cream on there. We should have just did the salted caramel.
Speaking of desserts, did you or meals? Did you make a game day meal? Everybody makes a game day meal for first week of football, right?
Yeah,
what'd you do?
I had beef ribs. I put on at noon.
On a smoker, then obviously.
Because I had nothing to do, because it was opening day. So the beef ribs went on at noon, and we ate around 7:15, and they were freaking fantastic.
Yeah?
Fantastic.
I asked Dan if he's ever made something he didn't like. He came up with one thing. It took him a little while, so Dan's pretty handy around the smoker and the grill, so good for him. We always do the youth football stuff. What happened this week, Dan? Wait, you're 1-1 going in this week, right?
Yes.
What happened?
We lost.
Lost.
We were down at halftime. We had 2 opportunities to score, to take the lead, and we're in the red zone and walked away with no points.
Ugh.
Had the lead with like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Picked off a pass. We're running the ball down the field on them, and a fumble.
Turnovers will kill you.
They scored 2 touchdowns and won the game. They beat us by 8 points.
That sucks. How many games are in this schedule before you go into the playoffs? About 8, maybe, something like that.
We got a game this week, and then we're on a bye, and then 2 more. So what is that? 6 games.
Yeah.
We're guaranteed a game, a 7th game, but if you qualify for the playoffs, that's the first round of the playoffs. Too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Got 4 kids on IR.
They're banged up.
Chipped ankle, kid in a walking boot. We should be getting him back hopefully after the bye. Got a sprained wrist, got a broken wrist, and got a kid getting his knee checked out actually today.
Who's the
All
trainer?
4 starters.
Jesus, who's the trainer?
Not me.
I'll tell you what, I don't know. I need a new trainer, man. I don't know.
Now we got to play the kids that you're afraid to put in because they might get hurt.
Oh, that hurts. I remember these football days anyway.
We have 18 kids on the team, 4 on IR. Couple kids that you're scared to put in, so we'll probably have more on IR going into the bye.
Yeah. I told you last week my flirtation with a barber chair as my new chair here has ended. My wife, as an early birthday present, I have a birthday coming up in late September, but she bought me a chair that almost identical chair, different color that I had like 3 years ago. It was my favorite one. She found it.
It's here already.
It's here.
Yes. I didn't even notice.
The previous one's brown. This one's kind of a pewter and like grayish thing. I love it. It helps me in my shoulder issue. You probably won't see me grabbing as much. I've had a couple of good days. I'm not completely over my shoulder issue. Anyway, that's where we're at with that. So let's do the beer review, and I got a few more things I want to bullshit about before we talk about football. Dan, it's your portion of the show, right?
Masthead. Hazy headlines.
That's right.
What's hazy?
It's a hazy IPA, but I picked it for the title again. And obviously when football starts, the season, the games start at 1 p.m. Eastern time here. That's early for me to do day drinking. After I got done watching the Bears game, God, I'll talk about it, but watching the highlight show before Sunday Night Football, things were a little bit hazy. The headlines were a tad hazy, I must say. It was a rough Monday at work for sure.
I couldn't wait for the Browns headlines.
Did you say the percentage of the alcohol? What do we have?
6.5%.
All right, very good. Did you try it yet?
Nope.
No.
Smells like an IPA, though.
I love IPA.
Masthead, your favorite brewing company out of Cleveland.
Well, out of Cleveland, yes. My favorite one in locals, it gets in Akron here, is Arche. What do we think, Deanne?
It's a light IPA.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know what hazy means. I don't know what that means, but you see all that different stuff. Hazy IPA, regular IPA, double IPA, New England IPA. I don't know what all that shit means. Even after 4 years of this show and being in the craft beer aisle, I still don't know what all that shit means.
It's actually pretty good.
Oh, I want to talk about something. Craft beer. So, I'm in Acme, which is one of our big local grocery stores here.
Locally owned, yeah.
Yeah, locally owned. And they have a great beer selection. And I'm there, and I see this beer called Beware of Dogs. And it's got a Cleveland Browns like dog. There's a fucking fence. There's a Browns helmet on it. And I look who the brewery is, and it's Goose Island, which Goose Island
And it's Chicago?
100%.
Get the hell out of here.
Like, I was somewhat pissed off. I'm like, and Robert Jones, I mentioned you on the show. He's an avid watcher of the show. I know he lives in Chicago. I want to say it's the South Side. But, like, I was pissed. Did I buy it? Fuck no, I didn't buy it because I'm pissed. Because I'm like, wait, where's the Bears beer? I mean, Robert, is there, like, a Believe in Monsters or something like that? Beer for the Chicago Bears from Goose Island? I don't know. I tried to look it up. I couldn't find it, but...
I know, you should change the name to Chicago Chipmunks.
I need to hit us back. I don't mind the beer. I kind of like it.
This beer's good.
It is good.
Monsters. I mean, come on.
Well, the monsters of the Midway.
Chipmunks, like the dad in Toy Story called them.
They were not monsters this past week, but we're not ready to talk about that.
Chicago Chipmunks.
Stop it. It was the first week for YouTube to have the NFL Sunday ticket, which I obviously have. And speaking of that, we have the two TVs going. Dan, a huge soccer fan. We have the United States men's national team playing Oman on the other screen. You can probably see maybe half of the screen over there. I don't know. But we've been making good use of the two screens out here. But I don't like it near as much. Well, one thing, it's not as convenient for me. DirecTV was my, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, still cable provider here, and DirecTV previously had the NFL Sunday Ticket, so it was super easy. It was just like, flipping channels and things like that for me. But now it's back and forth. And
yeah, if you're a streaming person, you almost have to have two TVs.
Yeah,
you have to.
It's slow, and then we had
one game you want to focus on, and then one TV to screw around and go back and forth.
Oh my God, yeah. And one thing I missed when DirecTV had the NFL Sunday Ticket, they had two what they call mixed channels, I believe is what they call them. And one of the channels had 4 games on it, the other one had 8 on it. YouTube does not provide the 8 game screen. They only provide a 4-game screen, so I missed that a little bit. Maybe they'll take suggestions. I don't know. So Dan and I talked about last week talking about this TV bullshit. You got your ESPN back from Spectrum, right?
Yeah, just in time to see that Monday night game.
Yeah, good for you. I do not have Fox back yet, and my Chicago Bears were on national television on Fox. I don't have it. I've been using Dan's Spectrum, which does have the local Fox, for the last few weeks when big games are on there. And the Bears were on there, and it gets wild in here when the Bears play. And Katie came out. The game hadn't even started. Game hadn't started. She's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Motherfucking the TV." Actually, I'm like MFing your family members, because the game's about ready to kick, and it says, "You've exceeded your subscribers." I'm like, "Motherfucker, Tyler!" I'm like yelling at Dan's kids and things like that. But meanwhile, it came back.
Did you change the password?
No. Did you? I hope not. Because I might still need that.
Well, I got a message. I was going to ask my wife. I got a message at work because I'll turn on Colin Cowherd. It's like, you need to update your password.
No, that's not me.
Wait, what? And I haven't done it yet.
You have scored. I'm not.
Already?
I'm not. Yeah, no, but I'm like MFing Dan's family members because I thought I was going to get kicked out. Anyway.
Wait, didn't that happen to us? Weren't we watching something on that before where it kept doing that here?
It stopped doing that, and it was a different error that I had. This time, it really concerned me right before kickoff because you have exceeded your amount of users or something like that, and it hasn't showed that. It was a different message, so I was super concerned, but it went back. Katie comes out, like, "What's wrong?" It's like, what happened to the Bears? I'm like, "They haven't even kicked off yet." She's like, "What?"
Why didn't you just watch it on DirecTV?
So I can't.
Or on the YouTube thing?
They only show, the Sunday Ticket only shows out of market games. So since the Bears were on locally, we don't get that game on the Sunday Ticket.
What?
Yes, out of market.
I thought you were paying for every freaking game.
No, out of market games. Out of market games only. Which means the games that show locally.
So if it's
the games that show locally, you have to watch locally.
Oh, jeez, that sucks.
The games that are not on locally,
we're gonna have to fucking put an antenna up here for you.
There's a digital antenna. That's another option. This is going way too long. Katie wasn't the only one who wasn't necessarily happy about the NFL season starting with my antics, if you will. Oliver, our oldest dog, and the rest of the other 2 boys, Oakley and Tucker, are clearly mama's boy. Oliver is my dog, if you will. He follows me everywhere. He was not happy about me. He doesn't like yelling. He doesn't like violence. Fuck, he thinks hugging is violence. Like, he gets pissed off when people hug. So I guess he was a big fan of COVID season. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, he was very unhappy. Like, he went inside, and when I laid in bed at halftime of, I think, the Sunday Night Football game, he wouldn't even come in. Like, he was still pissed at me.
Nice.
Like, he's like, "Dad, that's bullshit." Like, he's not happy that the Chicago Bears are back, but anyway, that's where we're at with everything. There's one more thing on this intro board that Dan made. He sent me a text or whatever it was, early in the week, like middle of the week, and it said, "Dr. Pepper podcast." And I don't know anything about what that means.
Oh my God!
Have
you? Yeah, no. I know you're not a commercial guy, but those Dr. Pepper commercials during college.
Yes.
Have you seen any of them? Did you see the guy locked in the garage doing the podcast?
No.
It's a sports talk podcast just because he wants to do one?
No.
Oh, it's hysterical.
Oh
that's what
I'll look for it. I'll look for it. Dave loves commercials. I'm not a commercial guy. We've talked about
those Dr. Pepper ones are good. So. With the Boz as the sheriff. Remember Brian Bosworth, right?
I did.
Yeah, he's the sheriff.
I did see something, and they run a lot of commercials, Dr. Pepper does. Good for them, I guess. I don't know. Do you drink Dr. Pepper?
No, I don't drink pop.
I don't either, except
water,
in my
iced tea,
main liquor
beer.
drink. So, yeah, ice. Oh, yeah. So I saw one where there was like this big like storm or hurricane coming. Like that's the NIL or that's the portal, the transfer portal.
Yeah, that's the commercial.
Oh, that
There's
is?
a little, the guy's in his garage with a microphone like
so
this.
I missed part of it.
He's doing a podcast. I thought it was funny because that's what the hell we're doing.
One other thing that I do want to mention before we get on to games here is I'm for the first time I'm in a survivor pool. Have you ever played a survivor pool?
No, but that would be cool. Yeah.
And for those who don't know, I'm sure almost everybody knows, but it's just you got your team has to win that you pick, and then you try not to burn the best teams early, and you try to survive as long as you can.
Yeah,
and
some people probably got screwed this weekend.
It's in my family, which is usually we do games like this with Katie's side of the family, but it's my side of the family. I think there's 20 of us, and all of us are in. Well, Connor Keaton, myself, and Katie are all in. And last week we were all in the Commanders. They won. They didn't cover the number. I belabored that already with my best bet pick. So I'm gonna start mentioning the survivor pool thing. And this week it's pretty tough. And I'm gonna burn a good team. I'm gonna burn the Buffalo Bills as my survivor pick this week for those in my family that watch this show.
Why are you doing that? Why are you telling them?
Oh, I don't think it's a thing. We lost 4 people.
What if everybody burns the Bills now?
I don't think. Listen, I'm not that great at picking these games, right? So, but I'm gonna burn a really good team because I think some of these games are really tough. But I'm gonna burn that. We had a couple of people drop off. There was a couple of Seattles. There was a couple of Buffaloes last week that lost games. Let's talk about that though. You want? I mean, the biggest story of the National Football League before we get into games.
The 3 top AFC teams from last year lost their opening game.
No, I think it's Aaron Rodgers' injury, man.
Oh,
you want to talk about before we get to the Jets? I think we should. I mean, it's the biggest story.
No, I don't want to talk. No, because every team lost I don't want to say every team, but the Steelers lost somebody, the Browns lost somebody. So screw. I don't want to waste time talking about that.
All right.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. We'll talk about it when we get to the Jets game, which is a 4 p.m. game at Dallas. But anyway, we're not there. We're on Thursday Night Football, and this is a streaming game. NBC had the opening week game on Thursday, but now it's Amazon Prime going forward. And it is the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Philadelphia to play the Philadelphia
Who are our
Eagles.
announcers? Al Michaels and Herb Street?
You got it. That's exactly right. How about that, Dan? Very good. Philadelphia, 7.5 point favorite in this game. Minnesota last week, talked about the away team first. They lost at home to Tampa Bay. Let's talk about this game for a bit. They had a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
I mean, the Tampa Bay defense is still pretty good. And last year, this Minnesota Vikings team, they won 13 games, right? They won like every one-score game, right?
Yeah.
They lost a one-score game this week. They lost by a field goal to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It wasn't great on either side of the ball. I mean, it's not a true litmus test the first week. I mean, and teams can look completely different week 2 from week 1. And there's different theories in regards to playing players in preseason, this and that, and who knows what's right or wrong. Philadelphia, I once again mentioned them, 7.5 point favorites, just over a touchdown. They went to New England. They won the game. They went out 16-0, and it became a very, very good game at the end. They were
sloppy, though.
They were. They weren't great on either side of the ball. Philadelphia did not play a lot of their players, at least on the offensive side of the ball during the preseason. Maybe that was part of it. I don't know. I mean, they're a really good football team. We know this. But it wasn't great. It didn't look great at all. And hell, New England had a chance. Did you see the out route that was just out of bounds? Yeah. Yep. Like they were inside the 20 if he catches the ball with a chance to win the football game.
They called it a catch and then overturned it.
They did. So Philadelphia didn't look great. Minnesota obviously lost at home, a game that they were favored by just short of a touchdown. Once again, Philadelphia minus 7.5 in this game, Dan. They going to win this game by more than a touchdown?
No. Philly's going to win, but not by more than a touchdown.
I'm going to lay it. I'm going to lay a 7.5. I remember a game that was at night last year when Minnesota had a sparkling record and went to Philadelphia and got blown out like early. And they don't play well. You know, Kirk Cousins doesn't play well, it seems like, at night. I don't know. He's got a really bad record. I saw that somewhere. I don't know what the stats are by any means. I expect Philadelphia, it's going to be a raucous, lubed up alcohol crowd. We know what the Philly fans bring. I'm going to lay the whole thing. I'm going to lay a 7.5. I mean, last week, Dan and I only had 2 games different. We're going to start out at odds on the first game. The Sunday 1 p.m. slates, and I'm glad to get this bad taste out of my mouth. It's my Chicago football Bears traveling to Tampa to play the Buccaneers. We already mentioned Tampa already a little bit earlier because they played Minnesota, but Tampa Bay is a field goal favorite. They're -3 in this game. Chicago lost at home to Green Bay, their arch rival. Disheartening. Like seriously disheartening. The Bears were supposed to take a huge step forward this year. It's year 3 for Justin Fields, and frankly, everything looked exactly the fucking same as last year. Like, I'm so upset in regards
Year
to this.
3 for him, but year 2 for the coach.
Yeah, Matt Eberflus is their head coach. I don't think that they were ready. I mean, Fields didn't play a lot in the preseason. I mean, they're like, he's ready. I mean, he threw a couple of screen passes, one a bubble screen, another screen. Both of them went for touchdowns. Like, yeah, this is great. It's not fucking great. A couple of things happened in that game. The Bears had 0 pass rush, and you can talk about Jordan Love, looking great. But when there's nobody in your face, I complete half of those balls. At least
your
the short
D-line
ones.
and your O-line suck.
They could not get in the offense. Yeah. I mean, the ball's got to come out faster for Fields. It does. The offensive line was not great. There wasn't a lot of there wasn't like any bright spots for the Chicago Bears, so it's super disheartening. But they're going to Tampa, and they're 0-1 right now, and they play Kansas City next week. I know the Bears' schedule. If they don't win this game, and they know their schedule, if they don't win this game, they're damn near dead. But here we go with Tampa. We talk about Tampa. They won that game in Minnesota where they were almost touchdown dogs. The defense is still good for Tampa.
Yeah.
I mean, they played really well. They got to the quarterback. Maybe Baker Mayfield's the right guy. He's got tons of fire. He's fire in his belly guy.
Yeah, no. I mean, Baker can play as long as he doesn't make mistakes. You're fine. I mean, he's a good quarterback.
Mike Evans showed up. He got a touchdown.
Yeah,
they have
Mike
playmakers.
Evans.
Godwin. They got playmakers. Yeah. They're -3 in this game. I'm going to take the lead. I think did I make you go first? Anyway, the Bears have no choice but to win this football game. Otherwise, damn near the season's over for them if they go 0-3 because I don't like their odds in Kansas City next week. I think they know this. Tampa Bay's performance pretty good last week. Bears' performance awful. I thought this line was going to be bigger, frankly. But I'm still going with the Bears because they know they have to win this football game. But that's me. And that's me maybe homering a little bit. It's a game I'm 100% going to stay away in regards to my bank account and betting. But, Dan, what do you say?
I'm going with Chicago on this one, too.
Are you doing it because you're my friend?
No.
Like, I would never fucking pick the Bears in this game.
No,
I thought
they can't be as shitty as they were against Green Bay.
It was so bad that I guessed that I like to guess at opening lines. I thought this line was going to be 4.5. It's 3. Dan and I are both on the
That's
Bears.
what I'm saying. I mean, you got a wild card with Baker. If he throws 3 picks,
they're not a great football team.
They're not. I mean,
and who's going to fix these? This comes down to coaching staff a little bit. Like we got to fix our problems. We know what went wrong. I mean, you have preseason and things like that. And now you're playing against, real bullets are flying.
This is what
now.
I want to do, and we didn't play anybody, and it looked great in practice, and now it's like shit.
The Bears threw 3 passes past 10 yards last week. That's it. I mean, you got DJ Moore for a reason. Anyway, I'm talking way too long about this game. But Dan and I are both on the Bears. The next game on the board is the Green Bay Packers traveling to Atlanta. Green Bay's a 1-point favorite in this game. Green Bay, we talked about the game almost already. They won in Chicago. Obviously they're 1-0. Jordan Love looked okay, but there wasn't much resistance in regards to pass rush. I would have probably looked okay.
You couldn't stop the run either.
They couldn't. They converted 4th downs. I mean, it was a game to halftime. I think they were up 10-6 at the half, and they blew the Bears out in the second half. But their defense is still pretty good. And Atlanta, let's talk about Atlanta and their performance. I mean, they were your elephant pick last week, your best bet pick. It was a close game, and then they got the points at the end. They won by 2 touchdowns. They ran the ball well. The defense played well. Desmond Ridder, I was hoping to see more out of him and more out of the passing game. It didn't happen. Drake London got 0 catches in the game. He's their primary receiver. You got Kyle Pitts there. Bijan Robinson caught a ball in the flat, kind of a flat screen pass. And he's a great athlete. He made people miss, and he got in. So good for him as a rookie. Green Bay is a 1-point favorite in this game. I have a feeling people are going to like this game a lot. Where are you going, Dan?
Green Bay's defense really looked good to me. I'm not sold on their offense yet, but man, I got to go with Green Bay on this with -1. I mean,
seems like a short line.
Yeah.
Seems like an easy pick, right?
Yes. You're going to take Atlanta. Aren't
I 100% am. And it's not because I hate Green Bay. It's because I believe in Atlanta Falcons. I picked them to win this division. I thought their defense played really well. I think their defense is going to put up more resistance against Jordan Love. Jordan Love hasn't played a ton of football.
No,
he really hasn't.
No, I
mean, he's been in the league.
100% agree.
His
But
4th year in the league, but he hasn't played very much football.
if they can run the ball, is that Jones dude hurt?
Aaron Jones ran a ball in, I think, on a screen pass on the 4th down play, and he grabbed his hamstring. He didn't play the rest of the game because he didn't need to because the Bears fucking suck balls.
I haven't seen anything on his
injury reports come out Wednesday. Once again, we're shooting a show on Tuesday, but that's just fine. I kind of like our Tuesday shoot date.
I don't like it.
You don't?
No. I like to know the injuries.
Yeah, I hear you. Dan's a big XO injury guy, things like that. It means a lot as a coach to him.
As soon as football's done, we're going back to Wednesday.
You want to do it? All right, fair. 50% of the show, I'm fine with that.
So I'm throwing the season.
We're good. They have a good start, man. I feel like last year you got buried early and you were still catching up. But meanwhile, we're both positive. So anyway, I'm on Atlanta. Dan's on Green Bay. 2 out of the first 3 games we are at odds. The next game is a division battle, and we got
2 at -1. Look at this.
Yeah, another one -1. It is. It's a division battle. It's the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Houston to play the Texans. Indianapolis is a 1-point favorite in this game. Indianapolis, they lost at home at Jacksonville. And in Houston, they lost to Baltimore. I mean, we'll talk about both these games in a little bit. Indy -1, but this is rookie quarterbacks and rookie head coaches.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. I mean, you're talking about C.J. Stroud for Houston. You're talking about Anthony Richardson for the Colts. You're talking about, D'Amico Ryans is the head coach now of Houston. And I forget the offensive coordinator that came out of Philadelphia. Steichen, who came out of Philadelphia. He's the head coach at Indy. Indianapolis, they lost at home to Jacksonville. They were in the game. Jacksonville got the end points, and we kind of thought it was going to go that way. Eventually, Anthony Richardson will make a mistake, whatever it is, they'll win out type of thing. We'll talk about Jacksonville plenty, but they flashed at times. And in Houston, I want to say that they were down by a point at the half.
I was shocked at how close that game was. I expected that one to be a blowout, and it wasn't.
It wasn't. Baltimore ends up covering the spread. I think they end up winning by 2 touchdowns, and that happens, like a battle of attrition, and the better teams with better players eventually win. But they were 100% game in Baltimore, and I think their defense played well. They sacked Lamar Jackson 4 times in that game. You know how hard it is to sack fucking Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
That guy's fast and quick as hell. So the defense played well, and that's, D'Amico Ryans, their head coach, stamp. He's a defensive dude. So I think they're going to play their hearts out on defense. Then who wins this game? I have no idea.
I'm going with Houston on this one.
Me too. They're the home team. I agree.
Yep.
I agree. I like D'Amico Ryans. I like the defensive mentality. Oh, we lost my thing.
What's going on? Aspen Dental. They don't pay us.
They don't. Dan Tucker, open the next game.
The next game we have on the board is Seattle going to Detroit City.
It is Motor City, I guess. Detroit is a 6-point favorite in this game. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Seattle. Let's talk about them first.
Holy shit, what happened to Geno?
There were a handful of teams that really disappointed. One of mine were Bears. Another one of these teams is Seattle for sure. They hosted the Los Angeles Rams, who are an aging team that nobody expects anything from. They still have a talented quarterback in Matthew Stafford, Dan hates, but whatever.
He's a D-bag.
And Dan and I talked about this on the season prediction show. In week 1, Geno played great last week.
Yeah.
Or last year. And he has weapons. He has DK Metcalf. He has Tyler Lockett. They drafted the kid of Ohio State. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Well, he's
They
not
have
playing
weapons.
because he's got a wrist surgery.
I thought he played. Did he not play? I don't know.
I thought he was out.
I have no idea. I mean, but they have weapons. There's no two ways around that. I mean, they have Kenneth Walker,
He should
running
be on
back,
their
Zach
Philly
Charbonneau they drafted. They have a running back stable. Their defense is pretty good. Was last year a fluke? I mean, was it a fluke?
It was a fluke.
Really? I'm not willing to go there yet. But we'll see. That was a super.
I mean, their defense didn't show up. What was the
I know,
final
they have
of
a
that?
good defense. They got blown out.
Yeah.
Like blown out in the second half for sure. And I don't know if Pete Carroll got out coached by Sean McVay. I don't know. Sean McVay's a good coach, but anyway. Neither of us like Pete, but I mean, fuck, the guy's like 75 and like still doing it. So anyway,
Well,
there's got to be something to it.
Detroit lucked their ass out.
Detroit.
No Chris Jones, no Travis Kelce.
Dan's
And
talking about the
frickin'
opening.
locked their ass
Opening
out.
Thursday night football game in Kansas City where they played well, but it was probably the mistake. I like that. That's a family tradition right here. Dan's threw his first beer. He'll probably go to his traditional Bud Light. But Detroit, I mean, they played well in Kansas City. And is the hype real? I don't know. I mean,
they played well. I'm not going to take that away from them. But, I mean, other than that,
I mean, I'll talk about Kansas City a bit, and they couldn't catch the fucking ball.
No,
That's one of the problems.
Who? Kansas City.
Yeah.
couldn't. But that Detroit's only got that one receiver, the brother from the kid from Notre Dame.
Aron St. Brown.
Yes.
So
I mean, they're limited on their weapons. They ran the ball good, but
I don't know about that.
yeah.
Josh Reynolds, they brought back Marvin Jones. And you know who Detroit's missing is Jamison Williams, who got a 6-game. Remember
because what? He's gambling in the locker room. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
don't be stupid.
Yeah. So
Don't
stupid.
shit where you eat, buddy.
My God, if you're paying me that much, Ken, don't do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The answer is fucking K. I'm not gonna do that. When you're paying me $6, $8, $10, $12 million a year, whatever you say, boss.
Yeah, there's plenty
Hey,
of places to go down in Detroit and probably bet on the corner.
The Dan's not buying the hype is real with the
On the
Detroit Lions.
line?
Yeah, well they're minus.
No,
six.
I'm not jumping
They're
on the
minus
media
6.
bandwagon. No.
They're -6 in this game. I'm going to take the lead on this game. I think Seattle bounces back. I think they're well. I think both these teams are well coached. Frankly, I think as much as Dan, I have like a little bit of a disdain for Pete Carroll. Maybe it's from his USC days with our
It's
both
totally
ignoring
from
Notre
his
Dame.
USC days.
But there's a reason why Pete Carroll's in his mid-70s and coaching a football team because he's pretty fucking good at it.
Or he's got pictures of somebody.
I like that. I expect Seattle to bounce back and this to be a very close game. Detroit very well may win it. I don't think they're going to win it by 6 or 7. I don't. I'm on Seattle.
I'm on Seattle as well.
All right, I like the reasoning. Next game on the board, kind of an intriguing game, and I think what I call a contrast game. It is the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to play the Tennessee Titans. Chargers 3.5-point favorites in this game. Chargers, they come off of their probably the most entertaining, probably the most entertaining game of the game. Let me start that over. Most entertaining game of the week.
I know what you're saying.
They played a game. They were opposite the Bears. The Bears were on this big TV where that soccer thing is, where you can see half of it. It was originally the 4-game thing on YouTube, and I changed it to the in-laws game, Miami versus the Chargers, because every time I looked at the screen, the score was changing. Like it was back and forth. It was wild. The Chargers 3.5-point favorites in Tennessee. The Chargers, they come off their home loss in Miami. Obviously, they can score points. They're a pretty good offense. They couldn't stop the Dolphins on defense, and it was kind of like this game where the last team who had the ball was going to win, and it was the Dolphins. And that's a big win for them going all the way across the country. And I promise you, in-laws, we'll talk about your team coming up. But they're not a horrible team on defense. Miami happens to possess one of the best offenses in the National Football League.
Yeah.
But then we talk about Tennessee. They went down to New Orleans.
Tennessee's got one of the worst offenses in the NFL.
I wouldn't say worse, but I mean,
Yeah.
here's what it is. It's so old school, Dan, which you love, though. It's
But-
like pound the ball and play action pass when they have to cheat up and stop Derrick Henry, right?
Okay, but who's going to catch the ball? Who's
They
the
had
tight end? Who's
DeAndre
the
Hopkins.
receiver?
They had DeAndre Hopkins. Traylon Burks is in his second year. But yeah, Dan's right. I mean, here's the thing that happened with Tennessee week in New Orleans is the New Orleans defense stopped Derrick Henry pretty good. And I don't know if he's aging. I'm not going to go there with that. But Ryan Tannehill threw 3 picks in this game. He didn't play well.
Yeah,
he didn't play in the preseason. And here comes this whole preseason debate again. We play our players, or are they just going to come out here and we're going to act like they're great, type of thing. And, it's hard. Injuries are difficult. You don't want to lose your players, and it's a tough choice to make. But that's what happened. I mean, Tannehill turned the ball over 3 times in that game. And you're not going to win if your passing game, when the bread and butter is Derrick Henry, turns the ball over 3 times. So, Chargers minus 3.5 in this game, Dan.
Chargers.
I agree. I think this is an offensive league. I think the offensive firepower wins out eventually in this game. We both love Mike Vrabel, and I'm sure he's going to game plan well. And
you got 2 Ohio coaches. Mike Vrabel played at Ohio State, and Staley was a John Carroll coach.
Oh, shit, you're right. A little Ohio flavor. Yeah. I like it, Dan. I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't know where he went to high school, where he's from.
I don't know that one. Man, you're pulling hard now. But anyway,
Vrabel's from freaking Walsh.
100%. 100%. I didn't know that. And here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen in this game. If Tennessee can run the ball down their throat and don't have to throw the ball, and they can't beat them on 3 downs when Derrick Henry runs the ball, then it might be a different outcome. But Dan and I it's an offensive league, like I said. Dan and I are both betting on the offensive league theory to win out. We're both on the Chargers minus 3.5. A very important division game in Dan's Cleveland Browns division. Coming up next, I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say about it. It's the Baltimore
Ratbirds
traveling to play the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals 3.5-point favorites in this game. Baltimore, we talked briefly about them already. They won their home game against Houston, which, a nice warm-up game. That's if you want somebody on your schedule opening week and you're a pretty good team, you want Houston or one of these other teams, right?
You want Houston. You want to walk out of there healthy, and they got freaking hammered with the injuries.
I feel really bad. Dan's gonna J.K. Dobbins, right?
That kid. I mean, I love that kid at Ohio State, and I was pissed.
I hate
the Ravens
that
got him, and I mean, he's had a knee. Had to go back and redo the knee. Now he's got an Achilles. I mean,
that's a full-length injury.
I mean, that kid's. And then Ronnie Stanley. I hate it.
He got hurt too last week.
He's hurt.
Is he hurt or did he play and got hurt?
He's playing and got hurt. Ugh. The center, the
I didn't know they got banged up that bad.
And they lost the safety.
Jesus, I didn't know that. Dan pays lots of attention to the injury report, and I appreciate that because I don't pay as much attention to it. I certainly understand it and get it, but wow, they got banged up pretty bad. And I do feel terrible for Dobbins. He's one of those really good players that just like injury struck or. I don't know what term to use.
I just...
Like injury cursed.
He's cursed because he's on the Ratbirds. That's all that it is.
Don't ever go to Baltimore. Anyway, their new offense under Todd Monken is, I think, a work in progress. I don't know. It was okay, but we'll see what we get from them. And then Cincinnati, they went to Cleveland.
Oh, they got their ass beat.
Joe, let's talk. We talk about preseason already.
He didn't even practice in preseason, and look how shitty he was.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, and he was, I guess, hurt, but Joe Burrow, and he's the highest paid player in the National Football League, by the way.
They were 2 of 15 on third down. They averaged 2.7 yards per play.
You know what his passing yards were, Joe Burrow?
It was under 100.
82?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was difficult conditions. He put a glove on times, didn't put a glove on times.
It was a difficult defense. Both teams played in the conditions.
The Elves played well.
Okay, you can call them.
I'm not calling them Elves.
Fine.
I was waiting for you to rail on Jamar Chase for calling your fucking team Elves.
Whatever. I mean, he can be a douche if he wants to be.
And Myles Garrett was cool about it. And they asked him about it before the game and after the game, and he's like, he didn't need to go there. And then after the game, he said, he shouldn't have went there. Past tense, he shouldn't have went there. I can't wait to talk about your team, and you got to be super excited. I'm super happy for you.
Cincinnati lost some key pieces on defense too. That I think some defensive backs and some stuff. There's some pieces missing from last year.
Man, this is so much fun than last week. Is fun or a word, Dan?
Yeah.
So much more fun.
Whatever you want it to be.
No, the fucking
Funner?
funner's not a word. No, it's not a word.
It's
so much
it's
more
in the
fun
garage. It's a
because
word.
shit actually happened. We're just guessing and stuff before that, but we have results to talk about. So, but yeah, this is. I mean, Cincinnati played a division game last week against Cleveland Browns. This is another division game. Losing 2 games in a row in division is a huge problem. A huge fucking problem when that division is that good. And Dan argued with me last week when I said I thought the AFC East was the best with the Dolphins and Buffalo and the Jets and then New England. But meanwhile, with Aaron Rodgers' injury, which we're going to talk about, I'm sure significantly amount of time.
We're not going to talk about it.
I got stories about it. In any event,
I'm gonna have to go take a.
This may be the best division now with Aaron Rodgers' injury happening.
It was the best division before that.
Fine.
Get
Still
out
wants
of
to
here.
fucking argue. Cincinnati minus 3.5, Dan.
I'm going with Cincinnati. They're pissed. They're gonna come out and whip the shit out of Baltimore.
They have no choice but to win this game.
They have to.
And generally, when you win a game, you at least win it by a field goal. I know there's a hook there. I'm gonna lay the hook with Dan as well. I'm on the Cincinnati Bengals to cover this number minus 3.5.
I mean, Burrow. I don't think his leg's right either. I mean,
what was his injury in preseason?
it was a calf injury.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was. I mean, Joe Burrow went from glove to not glove, and then I don't know. I'm not gonna.
I mean, it wasn't a downpour. It was like a mist, kind of all day.
He had problems though. Like he went barehanded, then went glove, and then went back to barehanded. Like the equipment people need. Some kudos for this game. Hopefully they brought all the right shit. Maybe they didn't bring all the right shit. Because you got to change cleat links, you got to bring gloves, you got to bring all kinds of shit.
Tampons and pads.
Oh, shit. That's why this show's fucking awesome. The next game on the board is the Vegas Raiders. They travel to Buffalo to play the Bills. Bills are 9.5-point favorites in this game, by the way. The Raiders, they went on the road last week. And won the game in Denver. Sean Payton's debut, and we'll talk about the Denver Broncos in a bit. But they found a way to win in Denver. It was on one of those split screen things for me. And Garoppolo looked okay. They're an okay team. The Chiefs are good, and are the Chargers good? I don't know. Denver's not good, I don't think. And the Raiders aren't really great, and blah blah. It's an average division. They won a big division game for them, so big for them. They were not favored to win the game. They won the game. And then Buffalo just happened last night. They were on Monday Night Football, like awesome football game. Like I don't care about Aaron Rodgers' injuries, and we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers when it gets to the Jets game. But this was an awesome fucking football game, regardless of the Rodgers injury.
Yeah, no, I thought both defenses.
I like competitive games.
Out.
Oh
yeah.
My God, I can't wait to talk about the Jets. Buffalo played pretty well on defense. Damar Hamlin.
Why was he not dressed?
He was inactive.
Why?
I don't know if he's not that good of a player. I mean, there was such a big deal. But remember when Damar Hamlin's thing happened? I mean, it was like, week 15 or something? Like it was super late in the season. Yeah. Was he playing because he was an injury replacement and not an elite player, if you will? I don't like saying that stuff.
I have no clue.
I thought he was a starter too. And if the guy's healthy, he's in. But he's inactive this week, and inactive.
I was kind of shocked by that.
Inactive connotates that you're not as good as the rest of the safeties.
Yeah. As
opposed to you're injured.
So I mean, he's not as good as the fourth safety.
Micah Hyde is a great safety on that team, but
and
I don't know who
Boyer,
safety is.
Oh, Micah Hyde was hurt last year.
So was he not a star? I mean, I don't know. But
Micah Hyde was hurt.
I mean, Damar Hamlin was like a monster story towards the end of the last season, and
Micah Hyde.
Maybe he's not a starter, Dan.
Maybe not.
I don't know either. I don't know. Well, we need a fact checker. Damn, we need a fact checker. Buffalo to recap minus 9.5 in this game. But here's the deal with Buffalo. Obviously, I'm not talking about Aaron Rodgers to the Jets game, but Aaron Rodgers goes out of the game on the 4th snap of the game. So this is supposed to be a runaway win, and it wasn't. And in fact, they lost in Gotham City to the Jets.
Wait,
with a backup
Gotham City is in Jersey now.
Yeah, if you will. Yeah, the two New York teams. Fine,
Batman
Dan.
doesn't protect
Fine,
that.
call me out. Dan's calling me out. But here's the deal with this game. Josh Allen was fucking reckless. Like, fucking reckless with the ball. Like, throwing the ball around.
You know what's funny? People railed on Baker Mayfield for making too many commercials. But Josh Allen, I've seen him on all kinds of shit.
Grab your money when you can. I don't think that affects anything. But he was too greedy. I mean...
No, they looked awful on offense. And I can't believe they haven't fixed the freaking running game. They have no running back other than him.
No, I don't know if that's true. James Cook, which is Dalvin Cook, but that's funny.
On Buffalo, not Dalvin Cook. I'm talking about Buffalo's running game.
And his brother is the lead running back there, James Cook. So, I mean,
they didn't run him?
They're a good football team, and maybe they should have ran more. I mean, I can tell you for sure,
maybe their offensive line can't run block.
Bullshit. Watching enough football, the checkdowns. Josh Allen has to take the checkdowns. You know, he threw 3 picks to the same dude.
Yeah, I know. That dude made an incentive.
He did. His last name's Whitehead. He's a safety. If he got 3 interceptions on the season, he got a $250,000 bonus.
Yeah.
$250,000.
Got it in the first game.
Week 1. He's like, let's try this again. Can we start this shit over like week 2? You know, can we do this again? Is that possible? Good for him, I guess. But meanwhile, I mean, they're a good football team. It's a bad loss, especially after the backup quarterback goes in, 2 minutes into the game, 3 minutes into the game, whatever it was.
Fourth play.
It was a fourth play. I think it was at the 11:40-minute mark, so 3 minutes into the football game. Maybe Buffalo got the ball first. I don't know. In any event, Buffalo's minus 9.5 in this game.
That is way too rich for me.
It's not for me. I'm laying the wood. I think they win this game by 10 points or more. I think Sean McDermott's super pissed. I think that the offensive coordinator, who I don't even know is it Van Pelt?
No, Van Pelt is with us. It's that freaking Ken Dorsey.
Oh, Dorsey. Yeah, I like him too. Anyway, I mean, I think they fixed this thing immediately in Buffalo. And like, Josh, look, you can't be fucking reckless. You look like 2019 Josh Allen. This is 2023. Dude, you're one of the best top 3 quarterbacks probably in the National Football League. Fucking do the right thing. When it's a check down, you take the check down. Stop going for the glory. I think they'll fix that. I do. I like them to win this game big and bounce back. Day and odds. I'm on Buffalo minus 9.
Buffalo.
Oh, shit, I swayed him. All right, you're off the Raiders and on to Buffalo?
Yeah.
All right, Dan and I are both giving the points. Last game on the 1 o'clock schedule, the Kansas City Chiefs travel to Jacksonville. Very good football game, man.
Damn, I hope I get to see this one.
Super good football game. Kansas City's a field goal favorite. Minus 3 in this game going down to Jacks. Kansas City lost their opening game. We talked about it already. They've had lots of time to prepare because they played on Thursday night for Jacksonville. But, I mean, let's talk about what happened there in Kansas City on opening night against Detroit. I mean, they had plenty of opportunities to win this football game. The receivers couldn't catch the ball.
Plenty of drops.
In our season prediction show, I remember talking about it, or we talking about it, like, who's going to step up as the receiver? That's going to, my go-to guy. And obviously that's Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce didn't play, and Chris Jones didn't play. I mean, Travis Kelce is their second best player on offense outside of 15, obviously. Chris Jones is 100% their best defensive player. They're both back this week. So that's a big difference for that football team. But who's going to step up at the wide receiver position? Because Kadarius Toney almost lost the game single-handedly by himself.
I don't know how he didn't have a pink slip in his locker.
No shit, right? I mean, the crossing pattern ends up being a pick six because it bounces off his hands and right into the D-back or safety's hands. I don't know which one it was. They run it back for 6, and then he had a couple of crucial drops too. They had plenty of opportunity to win this game. And I want to talk about that game in Kansas City against Detroit again. And Andy Reid has lots of creed in the National Football League. But meanwhile, you watched the whole game, right? Mm-hmm. It's 4th and fucking 25. You have 2 timeouts left. There's more than 2 minutes left on the clock. You're on your own side of the field, like at the 30. And they went for it. And the guy dropped the fucking ball. By the way, the ball went to where it should go. And he dropped the ball. Like, they should have converted it. But nobody gave Andy Reid. Like, I think that, I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, with this right now, are you really It's 4th and 25. It's not 4th and 5. It's 4th and 25. You know what the odds are of converting a 4th and 25? It's got to be less than 1%.
None.
It's got to be like the same as getting an onside kick when they know it's coming. But nobody questioned Andy in regards to it. I don't know. I don't think it was a great decision. Maybe they should have punted the ball and played defense. I don't know. Talk forever about this. Jacksonville, they're 1-0. They came off a win against in Indianapolis division game. Big division win, I guess, if you will. And I think a lot of this Jacksonville football team.
Big division win, but they struggled a little bit.
Yeah, the game was close. They were down at one point in the second half. Like they were down for sure in the third quarter, maybe even the fourth quarter, and they got a couple of plays. It was good to see Calvin Ridley back. He caught quite a few balls for them.
Eight, I think.
He's 0. His number? Oh, 8 balls ago.
8. Yeah.
And he wears number 0. Now he looked like himself, and we hadn't seen him for a year plus, if you will. Simply because of his game league suspension. But, yeah, I saw him come out of a break, and then I saw him beat a cornerback and his speed down the sideline. He can still play. I promise you that. He's not old by any means. So, and I think a lot of this Jacksonville football team, Kansas City, they can't go, well, you know what? Kansas City could actually afford to go 0-2 and still win their division without a problem, probably. But, I mean, that's a bad look for the defending Super Bowl champions. They're -3 in this game, Dan.
Torn on this.
My wife asked me before, it's like, you know all your picks right and your best bet pick. I'm like, no, I don't know any of my picks at all. And I'm swaying right now. I thought I knew who I was going to pick, and I'm swaying.
Is Chris Jones going to be that much of a factor?
He played no preseason, right? He played
nothing. He didn't do anything in preseason.
He's a great player, Dan.
Like
great player. Not good player, great player.
And Kelsey, I'm going to go with Kansas City in this.
I think the Jacksonville Jaguars make the Kansas City Chiefs 0-2. And I think it's a storyline for week 3. I think a lot of this Jacksonville football team, and Dan, I gave them consideration. I'll take the other hazy headlines. I gave consideration in the season prediction show to taking Jacksonville to win the AFC. And I know it's a stacked AFC. I mean a stacked AFC. And you got to be happy, Dan, with your Browns and everybody else, that the Jets, which is one of these teams that...
Why are you still talking about the Jets?
Because they're one of the teams in the mix that could possibly win the AFC, and I don't think they are anymore. But they're not on the board yet.
Dude, for a Bears fan, I think you got a thing for Aaron Rodgers.
We're going to talk about that.
That's kind of queer.
We're going to talk about
You're
that.
not drinking Bud Light.
That's my guy Dan's beers. In any event, I'm taking Jacksonville to win this football game. I know it's risky. I know Kansas City, I think they're going to bounce back. They got a proven head coach. But I like Doug Peterson, too. Anyway, I'm done talking about that game. We're going to start the Sunday 4 p.m. slate with the San Francisco 49ers traveling to play the Los Angeles Rams. You talk about two teams coming off extremely impressive performances. It is the San Francisco 49ers -8 in this game. San Francisco win to Pittsburgh. And probably talk about best plays and worst plays and things like that. I told you last week that I thought Pittsburgh was going to win this game at home outright. They got absolutely destroyed. They're one of the handful of teams that wildly disappointed last week, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm not going to take anything away from the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy with his elbow injury looks perfectly fine. I mean, he dissected what is supposed to be a pretty good defense in Pittsburgh. I mean, he was great, and their defense is still great. I mean, they blew them the fuck out. I mean, blew them out, Dan. I want to say the final.
Wow, that you were on the
30-7, maybe. I don't know what the score was.
It was awful. The Steelers looked awful.
I saw none of this game besides.
You were going in the preseason show. You were like, I'm all over the Steelers. Because I remember going, "What's your favorite flavor of Kool-Aid?"
You did. You did say that. I mean, Brandon Ayuk had a great start to the season as a wide receiver. I don't know what Deebo Samuel's stat line was. McCaffrey had a big.
Is he number 11?
Ayuk, I think that is his number.
Holy, yeah.
They had 2 touchdowns in the game. I mean, they look great. I mean, they absolutely look great. They have a great defense. Bosa signed his contract. He's there. They're good from the – and meanwhile, there was a weak point in the San Francisco 49ers defense last year. It was D-tackle, and they got Hargrave from Philadelphia. He was their best defensive tackle. Last year, I mean, that was a huge add. I mean, their defense, there's not a weakness.
No.
One of my favorite players in the National Football League, I'm just going to make this show go long, is that guy, that safety that they have named Hufanga, who will hit the shit out of you, but also intercept the ball. He got a pick in that game. San Francisco was a great football team. Dan picked them to make it to the Super Bowl against the Cleveland Browns. They're a great football team, and they showed it last week. Once again, to recap their -8. But let's talk about this Rams performance in Seattle on the road, a team that...
I don't know. I think it was two shitty teams, and one of them quit.
Seattle quit?
Yeah.
I mean,
McVay's a good coach, but good grief.
I thought he was going to walk away because the team was going to be terrible.
Yeah. I'm shocked.
I mean, people lay this team for dead. I give McVay credit. The defense played well. They have this receiver that caught all their balls. Cooper Kupp's on the IR, right?
He's got a weird injury, like a nerve thing now or something.
He does.
And I mean...
that guy's name, I want to butcher it for sure. I want to say it's like Puka Nakua or something like that. All right. You know what? I have no idea where Puka Nakua is from. But you know where he sounds... If you had to guess...
Samoa or Hawaii.
Where do you think he played college football? I mean, I don't know
BYU?
this. Yes, that's what I would think too. That's just what I would think. I don't know if that's true at all. I have no idea. But that's 100%. That's so funny. That's so funny to me. Anyway, maybe not funny to you guys. You're like, that guys are stupid. But anyway, he caught all kinds of balls. And how about our guy from Notre Dame? Kind of taking the lead running back position for the Rams. Kyron Williams.
Really?
2 touchdowns.
Nice.
2 touchdowns. They have Cam Akers there. Cam Akers
I want to
scored
go
well.
back to Kansas City. What about Drew Tranquil? Did he play?
He plays for the Chargers, doesn't he?
No. Kansas City got him. Is he
Oh,
hurt?
really? I don't know. I saw that game. I did not hear Drew's name.
I did not either. I'm going to have to look.
Really? I mean, they signed him as a free agent in the offseason?
Yeah.
Then I kind of follow our Notre Dame football players and things like that. And by the way, the Notre Dame thing is going to be a story next week on the show, but that's next week, and my buddy Ronnie from the hometown will get part of that. But I got to recap this game again. San Francisco -8, going to just up, down the coast.
San Francisco has owned the Rams. I'm going with the 49ers.
I agree. I'm gonna buy the 49ers. They look so great, and think that last week was fool's gold a little bit with the Rams, and that's why the line's not maybe 10 or 10.5. I agree with Dan. I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers -8 in this game. Next game on the board, the Giants go to Arizona. Across the country, the New York Giants are -4.5 in this game. I'm not exactly sure why, but the only reason why it is because Arizona might be the worst team in football for sure. But anyway.
Wait, I think the 2 worst teams in football are playing each other.
I don't know about that, but
come on.
But meanwhile, the Dan's talking about the dreadful performance from the New York Giants on Sunday Night Football, and I don't know if it's because Dallas is playing, but meanwhile,
it was dreadful.
I mean, it was awful, Dan. I mean, there's not one redeeming thing that came out of that game.
No, I changed the channel and watched Worst Cooks in America.
I fell asleep. I mean, it was a joke.
It was awful.
Although I was still paying attention because I bet...
I wasn't. I could give 2 shits.
I played a parlay with Dallas and the over at 44.5, and I'm like, this shit's going to cash. We had 26 points, fucking early. Meanwhile, I mean, like I said, there's not one redeeming thing that happened out of the game for the Giants. I mean, they gave up...
No.
They gave up a special teams touchdown. They gave up a defensive touchdown. They gave up offensive touchdowns. I mean,
the quarterback looked like shit that you just paid a shit ton of money to.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Dallas defense is legit. It is. But, they looked awful. And this day bowl hangover and, all this great thing. I mean.
It was trickeration last year. That's all they did.
More concerns.
Game
I want to call it Gotham. Dan's going to yell at me because MetLife Stadium's actually in New Jersey. But more concerns for both the teams in Gotham. If you will. Arizona. I mean, they were game in Washington. I'm super pissed.
I was shocked that was a game.
Nobody told them they tanked. I mean, the defense. Defense.
Who played quarterback?
Joshua Dobbs, the guy they got from the preseason from the Browns. I'm watching a shitbag game because I personally played it fairly heavily. It was my survivor pick in my pool. It was my best bet on this show, and I'm watching this shitbag game largely. Over here.
Chase Claypool play?
He plays with the Bears.
Or not Chase Claypool. Chase, the defensive end.
Young, no. Chase Young, no. He did not play.
What's his deal?
I don't know. He's still out. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. Yeah, another guy, star injury cross guy, like great player.
Why is Murray not playing? What's his injury? I still don't know. I got to look this shit up. Arizona.
Oh, Kyler Murray. Yeah. He's out. I don't think he's gonna play the whole season. But anyway.
But what's his injury?
I think it's an ACL. I think it was like the second to last game of the year last year, Dan, where he tore his ACL or something like that, and that's like a 9 to 12 month recovery. So he's nowhere close, I don't think.
He's gonna come back looking like Fat Albert from playing video games and eating fucking McDonald's fries.
The Arizona defense was game. The offense was not good. Here we go with this game, Dan. Giants minus 4.5.
Wow.
I know. I agree. Wow's right. What the hell is kind of my thought in regards to this.
I mean, I almost got to go with the home team. Nothing impressed me about the Giants at all. At all.
I agree. I think it's close enough. I know. It's risky, right? It's super risky. I agree, too. I mean, I'm not going to buy the Giants being this big a favorite on the road after that performance.
No.
And was that fool's gold last year with Brian Daboll?
I think it was. My personal opinion, yes.
I mean, here's the deal.
They lucked out so many times.
And the reason why I'm going to take Arizona getting the points in this game is because I told you, I watched that Arizona-Washington game. It was shitbag. The Arizona defense was good, and the offensive line for the Giants looked awful to me.
Yeah.
I'm coughing here all of a sudden. Anyway, so Dan and I are both on the Cardinals getting the 4.5 points. And here we go. I don't want to cough because here comes the Aaron Rodgers stuff. The New York Jets play at Dallas. Dallas is 7.5 point favorites in this game.
I'm picking Dallas.
Shit, we're not going that quick, Dan. How about the Jets? Win last night in Buffalo. And let's start here. Aaron Rodgers, for those who don't have television or something, or any source of media, Aaron Rodgers went out on the fourth snap of the game. And you know what the first thing went through my mind when it happened? I'm like, motherfucker, really? And I'm like, he's doing this just to piss off us Bear fans even more? I mean, this dude played in the Bears division for like a decade and a fucking half. And he's like Iron Man, like doesn't miss any games, beats the Bears down like a fucking drum every time they play. And you go to Jets and you're out after 4 snaps? I'm like, this guy's like trying to piss the Bears off. Like that's the first thing that went through my mind. But that's awful for the Jets. Another thing about this. So, and don't get me wrong, the Green Bay people are still bitter that they lost, or that Aaron Rodgers not their quarterback. So this is Barr in Milwaukee. Just outside of Green Bay. Well, I don't think Milwaukee's too far from Green Bay. But anyway, their deal is anybody comes in there, and every game that Aaron Rodgers starts for the Jets, and the Jets lose, your tab is free. Your liquor drink's free. Right? This is
that he starts and the Jets lose. Your tab is free. Oh.
So this is ideal for the patrons, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers starts a game, 4 snaps in, he's out. We got Zach Wilson, who nobody thinks is going to be a quarterback. This is a win-win. So the patrons there firing back shots, running up massive tabs, and they're fucking crying when the punt return happens.
Oh, my God.
Dude, it's an awesome story. I saw it on Twitter. I saw a dude with like a $600 fucking tab that he thought was free. No, thank you. You got to pay. Like isn't that an awesome story?
Yeah,
but they're running it all year in this Milwaukee bar. But I guess it's off now because
done now.
Aaron Rodgers not going to play. That's the biggest story. So it's a fun story. I don't know. Jets go into Dallas. Jets, they win this game. Aaron Rodgers goes out after 4 snaps. They have an elite defense. And they have 2 really good running backs in Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
I mean, they won this game, Dan, with Zach Wilson playing quarterback. They did. It's not like they're playing a slouch of a football team. They won the turnover battle.
The other team played like shit on offense.
Josh Allen was reckless with the football.
Played like shit.
100%. Dallas comes off a stellar performance. I mean, they won 40-0 in this game. Their defense is elite. They have playmakers on every level. Yeah. Micah Parsons leads that. DeMarcus Lawrence, Stephon Gilmore, Trayvon Diggs. when your pass rushers can get to the quarterback and the quarterback throws the ball, they have 2 ball hawks in the secondary to start with. So they're really good defense. I mean, they have all the talent in the world, Dan. Outside, I think their quarterback is average in Dak Prescott, but they have CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cook. I mean, they have playmakers fucking everywhere. This is a talented team, and Dan hates Dallas. We know this. -7.5.
I'm going with Dallas.
I'm not. I think the Jets defense kicks ass again.
No.
I do. I think they hang in this game. I do. I'm taking the Jets. We have a lot of games.
Dallas defense gets points out of this one.
Oh, that's a good point, man. Man, do they play well. I mean, these are 2 really good, really, really, really talented defensive teams. And one was a really, well, both the teams were good offensively. And now let's talk, what's going to happen with the Jets? What are they going to do? Because they're built to win right now. They're built to win right now. The defense is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they are.
The receiver core is pretty good. I mean, Garrett Wilson's a budding star.
You and I refer to them as the paper airplanes every time
Couple years ago.
Since we've done this show, all the way up until this year.
Yeah, because they didn't have a quarterback.
All of a sudden,
they got the chess piece, and now the chess piece is dead.
Well, yeah. All of a sudden, you're on their bandwagon.
I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. What are they gonna do?
I picked Miami to win the division. I'm gonna. They're not the paper.
That's sucking up to the in-laws.
They're not the paper airplanes. They're like the balsa wood plane. You know that little wood kit. That,
those are fun. Yeah, put them together a little bit. Like 8 pieces to put it. The gliders,
the New York balsa wood planes. They're off at with Zach
if you're the
Wilson.
Jets,
Come on.
But meanwhile, the Jets are built to win. If you're the Jets, do you ride this out with Zach Wilson?
That's what they said they were going to do.
What about Tom Brady?
You ain't going to get Tom Brady. He ain't coming. He owns a freaking team now.
Yeah, that's a problem. He is a minority owner for the Raiders.
He coming out. I mean, I heard little snippet today that maybe the Jets should trade for Matthew Stafford. Take him. He's a piece of shit. I don't like him.
Better quarterback here and play. I think they got to make a move. Kaepernick?
Oh, yeah. Bring him in.
How the hell old is Colin Kaepernick now? I have no idea.
I don't even know why you're bringing him up.
I don't know, because I saw it on one of the fluff sites, and what's available out there and things like that.
And Kaepernick was on there?
He was. I feel really bad for the Jets,
Jeez.
the Jet fan base. I feel super bad because their team's wildly talented. They had a good quarterback, don't get me wrong. Agent quarterback. It's like going to the Tom Brady theory. And Tampa did it, and they fucking won a Super Bowl.
You hated that guy for how many years, and then all of a sudden...
I still fucking hate him.
It's weird to me that you're on the Jets bandwagon.
I think Stage his fucking injury just to piss me off even more. Like, literally, that guy fucking didn't miss a game, and... I don't know. He started playing there when, the first Bush started before.
As soon as that play happened, I texted you and said he's out for the season.
You did. Dan's right on the Achilles. I need to see the second one. They're acting like it's an ankle, and we had this boys text with the in-laws, and it was all ankle and ankle.
I was on it. My accurate reporting. I was on it.
Yeah, Dan was on it. I was on it, too.
Achilles.
I saw it. Dan saw it on the first replay. I saw it on the second. 100% right. Dallas -7.5. Dan took the Cowboys. I took the Jets in this game. Washington versus Denver. I guarantee this show is running long.
Yeah, because we talked way too long about the Jets and the hated quarterback. It's weird to me that you talk about
another game. This is going to be fun.
Washington's going to Mile High and playing Denver. You got 2 crappy teams playing. The Lions 3.5. I mean, Denver, come on. Is Russell Wilson going to come back? I don't know.
Come back?
He played like shit last year. He looked like shit against, who'd they play on Sunday?
Denver lost at home to the Raiders.
Yeah, they lost at home to the Raiders, who aren't good either.
No, they're 2 of the bottom. They're the 2 bottom tier teams.
Yeah, so this game, I would stay the hell away from this game, personally.
Yeah, I agree with Dan in regards to I'm not sure what's going to happen in this game. And we talked about both, we talked about Washington quite a bit earlier because they were my best bet elephant pick and didn't cover the number, although they won by 4. Sam Howell, their new rookie quarterback, or not rookie, second-year quarterback, but first time he's playing, was very up and down. Right before halftime, he got hit and he fumbled the ball, turned it into a touchdown. I don't know. I mean, they got a pretty good defensive football team. Denver, how about Sean Payton's new head coach right there? You know what they did at the gate? First play.
Kick?
Yeah, because Sean Payton. I don't know. They didn't win the football game, man. They're not a great football team.
Didn't they lose a guy? Didn't they lost somebody to an injury?
Who, Denver?
A receiver?
Denver or Washington?
Denver.
I don't know, but they were banged up to start with. I mean, Hamlin's out. Judy, I think, was up last week. I didn't see a lot of the game because I went right up against the Bear game. I mean, Russ was okay. There was nothing really downfield. They threw a lot of checkdowns and things like that. I don't know. I'm not impressed necessarily by either of these teams. I mean, it's a tricky game. Dan, Washington, Denver.
Washington.
I agree. I'm going to take the hook. I like the hook. I think this is a field goal game. I think it goes either way. I'm taking the hook with the Washington Commanders. I figured this out after 3 years, although it may change next year. Then Washington, by the way, let's talk about that. Since the show is wildly long. Sellout in Washington last week against Arizona. New owner. Josh Harris. There was all kinds of like free shit, giveaway, beers, this, that, blah, blah, blah. But meanwhile, yeah, you got to get back in good graces after that disaster that was run by Daniel Snyder. So good for the nation's capital team. I love that for them. We are on a Sunday Night Football, and this is a fun football game. I think
this is an awesome game.
It is the in-laws team, and I love it that it's on Sunday Night Football because all you guys got to watch. I'm sure you fast forwarded, you jerks, my brother-in-laws, but I guarantee Tom watched the whole thing. Let's talk about Tom before we get in this game.
Tom, he's going to be here for 2 shows.
100%.
The next 2 shows in a row.
I can't wait to see him. I love that guy. He shows up next Tuesday, which is Dan and I's shoot night. I don't know if we're going to convince him to be on the show. He might
gotta get Mark the mechanic here. He likes Tom.
Yeah, oh shit.
He went 14-1.
4-man booth. How are we going to do that?
Hey, we'll figure it out.
Although Ethan, Exile producer, my son, love him to death, he's in some sort of like class where they like not camera class, but whatever. What do you call that shit?
Digital media.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, thank you. Struggling. He's like, I got this killer camera we're gonna have. You know, things like, maybe we need it next week, Ethan, because we could have a 4-man
I think
booth.
we need a drone too.
What? So you can show my hairline?
Yeah. Well, hey.
Hello, barber chair. Anyway, it didn't happen. Way off topic. I bet this show goes an hour and 15 minutes. We're talking about the in-laws team. I love it that they had to wait this long to hear for the team, or like at least like fast forward through like, oh shit, maybe I should listen to this bullshit. Any event, it is the Miami Dolphins minus 2.5, just short of a field goal, traveling to New England, Foxborough, to play the Patriots. Now let's talk about the in-laws team. They came off probably certainly the most entertaining game of the week in Los Angeles against the Chargers. I picked against them. I think Dan picks against them as well. I think it was travel.
Wait, I picked against Miami?
Yeah, we both did. I had to play it back because
damn it! Are you sure? I need to play it back now because I
played it back. I 100% played it back because I thought you went the other way. But this
I might be 10-6.
They're 1-0. No, you're not.
You're fucking with me.
No, 100%. The numbers are correct here. The offense.
When did you do the numbers after the Bears game?
No, I was doing it as it went.
As you went.
No. I actually watched the show back. I was not terribly impressed by the show last week.
Tom, I expect you to double check.
I like this week better. In any event, it is Miami minus 2.5 at New England. Their offense looked amazing. Tavagalo, to keep the guy fucking upright. The guy's a great quarterback if he's healthy. I mean,
he didn't get touched.
He didn't get touched. You're right. And they have. I'm not saying they have the best receiver in the National Football League. They have the best playmaker in the National Football League, and it's not fucking close. It's Tyreek Hill. I mean, I think this is Tyreek Hill's 8th year in the league, and he still shocks me every time I see him on TV, like, run away from people. It's nuts. I mean, he's not the best receiver in the National Football League because that guy goes by the name of Justin Jefferson, but he is the best playmaker in the league, if you ask me. Anyway, Tua looked really good. To keep him upright, the defense is good. I mean, the defense didn't have a great day, but they were playing a really good offense in the Chargers. I mean, that's one of the best offenses in the National Football League. So I'm going to give a lot of credit to them going across country, winning that football game. And then we talk about New England, and we talked about them briefly earlier. I mean, they were down 16-0 in that game against Philadelphia, and they battled all the way back, and they basically had a chance to win.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Philadelphia in that game. I mean, it's like they
need preseason stuff. They didn't play Jalen Hurts down in preseason.
They looked awful.
Did it look awful, or is the New England defense pretty good? And
I don't know.
And we talked about that in season prediction. Bill had six months to prepare for the Philadelphia defense. He has 6 days to prepare for the Miami offense.
Right, and according to the media, stop the best thing on their offense. I mean, to me, if I'm Belichick, you gotta get the quarterback. You get the quarterback, you stop their offense. So, I mean, if Miami can protect the quarterback, I think they walk out of here with a win. Because Miami's defense is good, and Mac Jones, not sold on him. Bill O'Brien's there. Yeah,
Dan's going that way. I'm taking it.
I'm going with Miami.
100%. Me too. I think they stake their claim to this is our division and come get us. We're no longer hunting. We're going to be the hunted. I believe in the Miami Dolphin football team at this point in time. I think they're not fortunate, but I think it helps that Aaron Rodgers is no longer playing for the Jets. No, well, it was a stacked division, Dan, and it's no longer a stacked division. It's Miami and Buffalo at this point.
You and Aaron Rodgers the issue.
I fucking hate that guy. He did this shit on purpose.
Doesn't sound like it.
Well, Dan, he can play. There's no two fucking ways about it. He can play.
Can't play anymore. He got hurt.
If you ask me, this division went from 3 viable teams to come out of it to 2 in a heartbeat in one fucking play. I don't think the Jets are a viable football team. I mean, unless I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, they have a great defense. I don't know. I was tremendously impressed by Miami.
Do you need a napkin? I mean, you're still talking about the Jets.
No,
paper airplane. I mean, watch past episodes.
Hey, by the way,
we talked about them in the paper air, and then Aaron Rodgers goes and he's like, "That's my favorite team."
That's not my favorite.
Do you have a freaking 8 jersey?
Dude, you know I hate Aaron Rodgers. He did that shit.
I can't tell if you hate him.
Did you hear the story?
No.
Did you listen to the story earlier about
No.
The first thing that went through my mind is this motherfucker. He played for a decade and a half, and now he's gonna play 4 snaps.
I think you're in denial. I think you really do like him.
I like defense, and I think the Jets defense.
Do you have
is
a
fucking
man
killer.
bun?
Stop. That's my neighbor. Quirk in the schedule. 2 Monday night games.
Oh, this is stupid.
Week 2. It's kind of weird. We haven't even made the Dan's football team, but the first game up, and there's 2 Monday night football games. ESPN handles the Monday night football games, but obviously they own. Well, Disney owns ESPN. And
yeah,
they own
I
ABC.
just got it back because there was a
first game
contest with Spectrum.
The initial game, which starts at 7:15 on Monday Night Football, is on ESPN, and that is a New Orleans Saints traveling in division to play the Carolina Panthers.
Wait, is there a Manning cast?
For one of the games, I don't know which one it's going to be.
I
don't know. That's a good point.
One.
Dan loves the main cast. I didn't watch. I fell asleep. I told you I fell asleep. Fitzpatrick, how was that?
It was kind of lame.
Was it lame?
I
He's bombastic. It should have been better.
No. Yeah, I was a little disappointed in Fitzmagic.
I bet this show's 100 hour and 20 minutes. Anyway, the first of the Miami football, and they're staggered, if you will. This game starts at 7:15, and when we talk about Dan's division rivalry with the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers, it starts at the regular time, 8:15. So they're an hour apart. And the first game's on ESPN, and it's the New Orleans Saints traveling to Carolina to play the Panthers. Division game. New Orleans -3 in this game. They come off their home win against Tennessee. Derek Carr looked okay. I mean, it was like a 17-16 final, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't know what to think of either of those teams. Carolina went to Atlanta. They lost the game, and they have lumps. I mean, what's his name? Bryce
Young.
Bryce Young. There you go. Thank you, Dan. I mean, obviously, you're going to take lumps with rookie quarterbacks. He threw a couple of picks. They ended up losing the game, going away late, just like kind of Dan forecasted. Like, same way with Indianapolis. They lost the game late.
Yeah.
Same way with Houston. They were in the game because these guys are good fucking players, but eventually there's a mistake that happens and you lose the game. And like kind of attrition wore out in all those 3 games. But meanwhile, Carolina's at home in this game, and New Orleans wasn't terribly impressive. Who's going to win this game? New Orleans
defense looks okay against a rookie quarterback. I'm going with New Orleans in this. On the road.
I am too. I think Derek Carr looked okay, and I think he's going to look a lot better as a quarterback because I think they're playing a lesser defense. I think, quite a bit of the Tennessee defense and being coached by Vrabel and defensive coach.
100% agree with that.
So I think Carr's going to look a little bit better. I think Carolina continues to take their lumps. Dan and I are both on New Orleans. The last game on that board, the last match football game, and Dan's been itching to get here, and he's been itching to talk about his football team. And I don't blame him, man. It's fucking exciting. It's the Cleveland Browns -2 traveling to their arch rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Everybody in the division is an arch rival.
Less than 2 hours away by car. Browns are -2 in this game.
Cleveland, I'm taking them right now.
We got to talk about the team. Let's talk about your team.
We can talk about it.
Let's talk about your team. They
Defense, lights out.
Yeah.
And they have to keep that up. I mean,
they was the biggest addition in the offseason.
The whole defensive line, other than
Jim
Myles
fucking
Garrett.
Schwartz.
Oh, well, yeah, Jim Schwartz. Jeez. Come on. Cincinnati was 2 of 15 on third down, and they averaged 2.7 yards a play. Come on.
The conditions were bad, but with that being said,
it was bad for both teams.
I agree. Hold on. I'm going to give your team credit. It's kind of backwards, but super talented football team on paper. And we talked about the Cleveland Browns in the season prediction show. That defense looked completely different than last year to me. They were flying around. There was like bullets going everywhere. They were sticking people. Our guy JOK play?
Yeah.
How'd he do?
He was fine.
I was trying to watch it. I was trying to watch it.
Different number. He's wearing he went back to 6. He was 28 before. He's 6 now.
The other thing with your Cleveland Browns team, and Dan loves the Browns, and he's having this show. Obviously, it was very difficult conditions. I wasn't terribly impressed with Deshaun Watson. He bounced.
No, I was kind of pissed because there were receivers wide freaking open, and he's underthrown.
I agree.
Underthrown him. I'm like, that shit's got to get fixed.
If
not, quit sending these deep routes. We need some underneath shit because where was Elijah Moore?
I agree.
I'm like,
the guy impressive preseason right and left, right? Everybody like Elijah Moore. Nothing, right?
We're throwing deep balls to Goodwin or Godwin or however you say his name.
Marquise Godwin.
He is wide freaking open and they're underthrown.
Yeah,
and I'm like, holy shit.
Here's the thing: this team's formidable, like really formidable. If Deshaun Watson is 2019 Deshaun Watson, I'm gonna give this a pass the first week for Deshaun Watson because the conditions were really awful.
I'm tired of giving him a pass.
Pittsburgh.
Fucking pony up, boy. You got freaking $230 million. Let's go.
Great team on paper. Dan has a ton of reason to be excited.
He freaking audibled and ran a touchdown in, so I'll give him credit there. But come on, you got to deliver the fucking football so people can catch it.
I'll tell you what, man. You play in Cleveland in the winter. It's about defense and
and if we have that result,
Dan was talking about his team some more.
If in shitty conditions, now maybe he plays better in the snow. I don't know. We'll see. But fuck, I was impressed. The defense, special teams.
He doesn't like blankets. He likes very loincloths, like very small.
Only when he's getting a massage.
That's right. Way off track. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I was barking about them. They actually were.
You were barking, yeah.
They were a handful.
Kool-Aid. Oh yeah! I'm waiting for freaking Kool-Aid to come busting through the wall.
They were a handful.
Oh yeah!
They were a handful of teams that supremely disappointed last week. They're one.
Disappointed who?
Well, from
you.
What we thought? No, not me. In regards to what they looked like and what the potential was.
Come on.
They played really poorly.
Kool-Aid drinker.
So much for the preseason. I understand.
Oh, yeah. I should have worn my Kool-Aid shirt.
You don't think Mike Tomlin's going to fix this shit?
No.
Yeah,
how's he going to fix it? He's got a shitty offensive coordinator. He knew he had a shitty offensive coordinator. They extended the guy.
I'm not asking you to tell me who you think the top 5 coaches in the National Football League are, but where do you rank Tomlin?
He's high.
I know. I want a number.
I don't know why Matt Canada is still there. He's 6.
6. Okay, fine. He's a great fucking coach. He's gonna fix this thing. They
ain't gonna fix it this week.
Cleveland -2. They haven't won at Pittsburgh since I don't know when. Well, that playoff game.
Yep.
Dan's getting pissed. I just see the bounce back.
Cam Hayward's out.
He is.
Jack Conklin's out, but thank God we drafted DeJuan Jones, the monster
do have some
of
injuries.
a human being.
There's another guy out for the Steelers, too. I forget who it is.
The receiver.
Oh, Deontay Johnson. Yeah.
Pulled a hamstring.
I don't know. This is going to be a dog.
Doesn't matter if he's out because the quarterback can't throw the damn ball to him.
No pun intended. This is going to be a dogfight in this game.
Cleveland.
I like the home team. I'm taking the pick.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
Elephant picks, Dan. That's what we call our best picks on the show. Shut up. Really?
I'm going with Cleveland.
Jesus, I got to look for a while.
I know you're not taking the Bears.
You know what I'm going to do?
You're going to take the Steelers.
No.
You're going to take the Jets.
I took against the Miami Dolphins last week on the road across country, and it was a great game, and it could have went either way. It certainly could. I think this team has the mettle to do it all. It's short of a field goal. I think they win this game by a field goal or more easily.
All of a sudden, Miami has the mettle to do it all?
They have a great team.
You picked the Jets to win the division.
They had Aaron fucking Rodgers.
Oh, my God.
Now they don't. Now they have Zach Wilson, Dan. You don't think that's a difference? Okay, you have Deshaun Watson or you have, I don't know, who the fuck, Josh Dobbs? What the fuck? Some other scrub quarterback that played forever for the Browns?
Dorian Thompson-Robinson out of UCLA.
That's fine currently, if you will. But if you don't have a quarterback...
We have a quarterback.
I understand you do. The Jets have an elite defense.
Man, Ken,
they have a great offense.
Family points.
They do not have a quarterback.
Family points.
He's so fucking stupid. Anyway, those are our best bets. Dan Cleveland, because he didn't want to think about it. And I thought about it. I scanned the board. I'm taking the Dolphins. I like what they did. I think they're going to stake their claim to leading this division and being the hunted. Anyway, it's been a super fun show for me. I guarantee we're an hour and 15 minutes in. With that being said, thanks for watching. There's no great marquee.
Go Browns.
There's no great marquee college football games on the board that we're going to talk about.
Wait a minute.
Next week.
Iowa State's going into OU.
Okay, that's not a marquee game.
Come on.
Like I said, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. We'll tell you how it went, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much.